going to do, I think, on Mondays going forward is work on an energetic quality within the practice called Brahmana. And the idea behind Brahmana, there are a couple of ideas behind it. It's more of an energizing, nourishing, not energizing to make you nervous, but energizing to give you some strength, to build confidence, to build courage. Arguably, you could say it can help strengthen your immunity. No promises, but it can. The idea behind Brahmana, as I say, you're going to use your breath work within the postures, and then at the end we're going to do a little pranayama that is specifically Brahmana. We're going to do those always on Mondays going forward. On Wednesdays, I'm going to do, let's not say the opposite, but kind of the other end of the spectrum called Lungana. So come back on Wednesdays at noon if you want to experience that. More of a grounding, calming practice. Always when you're working with your breath, you should move slowly and gently. And I'm going to talk you through all this, but just be aware that if I'm counting you through some breath work, you go at your own rate and do what you can do, and just be careful with this and kind of check in with yourself and make sure you're feeling comfortable with this. What we're going to use, and it is a particular Brahmana technique, is a little bit of retention after your inhale. That means basically just retain your breath, not for very long, 1-2 seconds, and we'll build that up very carefully and slowly so that you should feel comfortable with this technique. All right. You guys have any questions about that before we get started? Oops, there comes somebody else. If not, we will go ahead and begin. And I'll ask you just one more time, please, if you could sign in the chat and just put your name and your email so we can keep having these classes for free. All right. So Brahmana class, let's begin. Lying on your back. Comfortable spot on a mat, on the floor. You could do this on a bed, but it's better on the floor. And we'll begin. So your knees can be bent or straight. Arms down by your sides, eyes closed. We're going to begin here like we've done previously. And this is not something I typically do in a beginner class, but I think it helps with the current situation that we're in. I think it helps you understand your, let's say, place in the world, or the bigger picture, let's say. So begin here and cognize where you are right now in your home, I assume, on the mat. In your town or city, wherever that may be. In your state. In the United States of America. On the continent of North America. On planet Earth. The third planet from the sun. Circling around the sun. In our galaxy. And spend just a moment or two. I'm going to let you enjoy this. Spend a moment or two in infinite time and space. Now returning from our galaxy to planet Earth, to the continent of North America, to the United States, to your state, to your town or city, to your home and your mat. Now begin to connect to your breath. So the first piece of this is to notice your breath. Notice that path of the breath moving in and down and up and out. Every day, all day long, and notice the quality of your breath here at midday on Monday. Gently bring your breath to an equal inhale and exhale. And if you know Ujjayi is that it's like a wind tunnel breath. You can begin to connect to Ujjayi as well. So take 3 or 4 rounds of breath to do this. And see if you can increase your inhale and exhale by 1 second. On inhale, feel your chest expanding, your shoulder blades move together. Exhale, your belly will naturally fall toward the ground since you're lying down. For those of you who just joined us, we're lying down. See if you can increase your inhale and exhale by 1 more second. If it's comfortable, remember, keep at that level where it is comfortable for you. That same idea, it's going to slow your breathing down a little bit because it's going to get longer. And if you can, start to retain just for a second, or maybe 2, after your inhale. Feel that pulsation. Feel how it starts to energize you just a little bit. Ujjayi breathing, if you're using Ujjayi, has a little bit of an energetic quality. And we're lying down for those of you who are joining right now. We're lying down flat on the floor. Your knees can be bent or straight. We're going to start some movement in just a couple of minutes. But if you've come in late, take just a minute to sort of focus, tune in, Connect to your breathing. Connect to that inhale and exhale. Connect to Ujjayi, that wind tunnel sound where you're partially closing your glottis. It's like fogging your glasses, like you're going to clean your glasses and you like that, but your mouth is closed. So take a couple more breaths here and we'll start to move. All right, wherever you are in your breath cycle, bring your arms down to your sides. And exhale here fully, feel your belly fall toward the floor. And on your next inhale, just lift your arms straight up and over behind you. Exhale, lower them down to your sides. Find a rhythm in this. We're going to continue this for a little while and connect to that, that same breath pattern. So your equal inhale and exhale a couple of times. Then increase it by 1 second, both your inhale and exhale. Pause at the top. Do that a couple of times, then increase it 1 more second. So it slows it down. Maybe you can retain another second longer at the top. And if it's comfortable, keep going. Like every 2 or 3 rounds, increase your inhale and exhale, increase your retention, not by a lot, but wait till you get to that point where it's not so comfortable. Then you have your breath threshold for today. Get to that point where you're like, oh, I don't really like this, and then step down again. All right, good. I can't see anybody, so I'm going to assume that everybody's okay with that. So now let's bend your knees, please. Bring your arms down to your sides. And this is bridge posture. So if you've ever done a yoga class, even if you've ever done a gym class, I'm pretty sure you've done bridge before. We're going to use that same idea of increasing your inhale and exhale kind of methodically every other round, pausing just for a second or two. You're just going to change it when you're doing it within bridge posture. So thank you for turning on your camera. I appreciate that, Julie. It's nice to see smiling faces. All right, so lying down on your back, knees are bent, arms are by your side. Please. Exhale here fully. Inhale, lift your hips toward the ceiling. Exhale, roll down your spine, lowering your hips. Use the full amount of your inhale and exhale for this. Keep going, inhaling up. And exhale, lower. Inhale, see if you can lengthen your inhale by a second or maybe 2. See if you can pause for a second or maybe 2. Exhale that same amount. You always want your exhale to equal or be longer to your inhale or retention. Keep going, inhaling up. Pause at the top. Exhale, lower down. Do this one more time. Inhale, lift your hips. Pause at the top. Exhale, lowering down. And one last time. Inhaling. Kind of feel like your spine is rolling against the floor. It's like, you know, like one of those chairs in the airport. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful. So roll to one side, please, and push yourself up. And for those of you, for my friends with tricky knees, you can sit in a chair and do this. Otherwise, everybody else come to your knees. And what we say is standing on your knees. So come straight up on your knees. I'll show you a little bit about what this looks like. And we're going to be a little more methodical, let's say, about our breath pattern here. And I'll talk you through this. But the posture is inhaling, sweeping your arms up as high as is comfortable. Exhale, this is Vajrasana, fold forward, bring your head toward the mat. Arms come, sweep around, and they land on the backs of your hands or on the backs on your sacrum. So it's like a swan dive. Inhale, you sweep up. You're on your knees, Exhale, fold forward, bring your head toward the mat. So this is a forward bend, and your arms sweep around and the backs of your hands are on your low back. There you go. You got it, like that. Try it a couple of times. Inhale, sweep up as wide as you can get your arms. Pause at the top. Exhale, fold forward. Your shoulders are below your hips. Your hands rest on your low back. Inhale, sweep up, lengthening your inhale and exhale each time, pausing at the top. Exhale, folding forward. Tuck your chin on the way down, bring your forehead to the floor. Keep going. Inhale, sweep up, pause at the top. Exhale, fold forward. See if you can lengthen your inhale and exhale and do it 2 more times. And pause maybe another second longer at the top. And exhale, fold forward. You can pause down there for a second if you'd like to. Stay in child's pose for just a second. So that's the breath pattern that we'll use. So you start with, here's an example, an inhale of 4, you retain for 1 or 2, exhale 4. Inhale 5, retain for 2 or 3, exhale 5 or 6. Inhale 6, retain for 3 or 4, exhale 6 or 7. So you're building it incrementally, like every other round. But you need to use the amount of breath that works for you. You don't have to use my specific count. All right, scoot forward onto your tummy. Let's do Cobra Bhujangasana. Bring your arms down to your sides. Turn your head so your cheek is on the mat. Your feet are hip distance apart, arms at your sides, all the way straight. Exhale, pull your belly in. Inhale, bring your shoulder blades together, stretch to the front of your chest, and lift your head. Hands stay on the floor. Exhale, lower down. Turn your head on the exhale. Inhale. Lift through your chest, bring your shoulder blades together, your chin lifts after that. Pause and exhale, pull your belly in as you lower down. Keep going, inhaling, maybe you can slow it down, it's pretty strong in this posture. Bring your shoulder blades together, feel the stretch in your back. Exhale, lower, you're turning your head side to side if you want to on the exhale. Inhale, come on back up. Shoulder blades come together. Hands stay on the mat. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, if you can, slow down, or sorry, lengthen your inhale, pause, and now same amount of exhale as you lower down, turning your head. One last time, one more. Inhale, that nice long, slow inhale, pause at the top if you can. Exhale, lower down. Slowly. Good. So that was a little bit of retention if you were even following my instructions. And you can feel how adding that little bit of retention kind of gives Cobra a little oomph. All right, so come up to your hands and knees, please. Make sure your shoulders and your wrists are lined up, and your hips and your knees. This is Chakravakasana, so you want to keep your back pretty flat. This is similar position to cat-cow, but we're not doing cat-cow. This is different, all right? So I'll describe it to you and then I'll talk you through it. On your inhale, that same idea of stretching through the front of your body here like we just did in Cobra, and your shoulder blades come together. On the exhale, your belly pulls in, your elbows bend straight back toward your thighs, straight back. Your head comes to the mat, and then you start to bring your hips toward your heels like child's pose. Inhale and come forward. Just use a regular inhale and exhale on this one. We're not going to do that specialized breathing technique. We're going to take a little break here. Exhale, move back towards child's pose. Bend your elbows straight back. Straight, bending your elbows, yeah. Inhale, come forward. Stretch through your sternum, right? This whole upper chest area. Exhale, pull your belly in, tuck your chin, bend your elbows straight back. Keep going. See if you can find this, and I'll be quiet for a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 more times. Remember to tuck your chin on the way down. You should feel this stretch all the way along your back. And a lot of people have the tendency to keep their arms straight as they move back in the exhale, which is fine. I mean, it's not bad, but you will get more of a stretch if you bend your elbows. I know it feels kind of crunched and kind of weird the first time you do it. You bend your elbows toward your thighs, bring your head down, and then start to move back. You'll start to feel how all the erector spine, all those muscles in your back will stretch out. All righty. So let's stand up and get a little energy going. That same idea of Brahmana. Stand with your feet hip distance apart. Look down at your feet and make sure they're not turned out or turned in or rolling one side to the other. Arms are down at your sides. Pick a point in front of you, either on the floor or just above. That's going to be your gaze, your drishti, right? That's going to help you with the balance in this. This is a really simple posture called balancing Tadasana. You may be familiar with Tadasana, which is mountain pose. All we're going to do is on the inhale, you lift your heels. Exhale, you lower, which sounds simple, but let's see. So standing nice and tall here. This is a really good one for stretching out your back, actually. Exhale and pull your belly in. Inhale, let's do no arms first. Inhale and just lift your heels. See how your balance is today. Exhale, lower. Inhale, Lift your heels, pause just a second at the top. Exhale, lower down. So let's lengthen your inhale and exhale and add your arms. Inhale, sweep your arms up as high as you can go, lengthening your inhale. Pause for a second or two at the top if you can. Exhale, lower your arms, lower your heels. Do it again. Inhaling up. Pause at the top for a second or two. Exhale, lower down. Now we're going to lengthen your inhale and exhale even more. One more second. Inhale, sweep your arms up even longer. It slows it down. Pause maybe 2 or 3 seconds, maybe 4. Exhale, lower down. Do that one more time. Inhale, sweep your arms up as your heels come up. Pause at the top. And exhale, lower down. So you can feel, don't worry if you kind of wobble and fall over, that's fine. That's part of the drill. You can feel how this builds the energy. That's the idea of Brahmana, right? That energizing kind of boost, let's say. All right, let's take that to the next step with Virabhadrasana, warrior pose. So take a step forward with your right foot. Make sure it's a comfortable step forward and make sure that your hips and your knees are pointing forward. All right, so you may need to adjust it vertically or horizontally. You don't want that back knee moving sideways. Your back foot is at a slight angle, but your back heel needs to be able to stay on the mat. So come forward and bend your knee and see if you can still do that. See if you can pick a comfortable spot where you're getting a stretch on the left side, particularly like your left groin. That's whole areas where we're going to stretch, and make sure your knees and hips are coming forward in space. So you may need to adjust it and make your stance a little bit not quite so wide. This is a little bit different than what you may be used to in other yoga classes. All right, let's try it. On your inhale, I'll describe it and then I'll talk you through it. On your inhale, you're going to lift both arms coming forward and your knee bends, chin level. Exhale, lower your arms and straighten your knee. That's what we're going to do 3 times coming forward, increasing that inhale and exhale, and then we're going to stay. Okay, let's try it. So arms down by your sides. Exhale, pull your belly in. Get nice and long. Inhale, bend that right knee. Both arms lift in the air, chin level. Exhale, lower your arms, straighten your knee. Good. Inhale, come forward. Both arms lift, bend your front knee. Pause here. Exhale, straighten your knee. Lower your arms. One more time, and then we'll stay. Inhale, come forward, lift your arms, bend your front knee. Shoulders are ahead of your pelvis. Stay, and exhale, move back. Now when you come forward, we're going to stay with your knee bent. So inhale, lift your arms, straight up in the air, bend your knee. Exhale here and stay. Inhale, get a little bit longer with your arms, retain your breath at the top. Maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Exhale here, you can relax your elbows, but stay with your knee bent. Inhale, straighten up higher. Hold your breath here, maybe a little longer. Exhale, straighten your knee and lower your arms. And bring your feet together. So hopefully you can feel, I can only see 2 of you, but hopefully you can feel that heat, right? Building. That's partially the posture, that's partially this breath work. And that's the idea of Brahmana. It's not necessarily heating, but because you're getting that prana going, that flow, then you have this energy building. Okay, so let's go to the other side. So now your left foot is forward. So correct your stance so you're moving forward in space. Your back knee needs to move forward as well as your hips. Don't let your back knee move sideways. So you might have to adjust, go a little wider, maybe go a little shorter. Pick that place where you're happy. You can move back and forth with your bending your knee. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, so here we go. Exhale here, pull your belly in. Inhale, bend your left knee now. Lift your arms, come forward. Exhale, lower your arms, straighten your knee. Shoulders are always ahead of your pelvis, moving forward. Inhale, bend your knee and come forward. Pause. Exhale, lower your arms, straighten your knee. One more time. Inhale, bend your knee, come forward. Pause, maybe a little longer. Exhale, lower your arms, straighten that left knee. Now we're going to come forward and stay like we just did. So inhale, come forward, bend your left knee. Exhale here and stay. You can kind of relax your elbows a little bit, not all the way down. Inhale, straighten them back up. Pause, maybe 3 or 4 seconds here. Exhale, stay here. You can relax your elbows a little bit if your arms get tired. Last time, inhale, arms straight up, really give it a stretch. Pause. Exhaling, lowering your arms, straightening your knees, and bring your feet together. So pause here for just a moment and check in with your energy. Check in and see if you can connect to that, hopefully, vibrational quality that's sort of buzzing around in your body. That's Brahmana. That's the idea. All right, so let's do a counter pose, a little pratikriya. This is a forward bend. So feet are hip distance apart. And put your hands on your butt, please. So we're just gonna go down halfway 3 times, up and down, and then we'll go all the way down 3 times. I'll talk you through it. On an exhale, as you move forward, pull in your abdominals, but don't lose your structure. Don't like flump over. Don't do that ragdoll thing, okay? That's really hard on your spine. All right, let me talk you through it here. Hands on your butt. Inhale, get nice and long and tall. Exhale, fold halfway forward. Run your hands down the backs of your legs. Look at your mat. Look down at the floor, but don't drop your head like a basketball. Inhale, come on back up. Bring your shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold halfway forward again so that you are looking at the mat or the floor, wherever you are. Inhale, bring your shoulder blades together to come on back up. One more time. Exhale, fold halfway forward so you are looking at the mat. Inhale, come all the way back up. Now, if it's okay for you, we're gonna go all the way down. So keep your knees soft. Exhale, pull your belly in, fold as far forward as you can, running your hands down the backs of your legs. Inhale, brings you back up. Bring your shoulder blades together to come up on an inhale. Do this 2 more times. Exhale, pull your belly in, slowly moving down as far as is comfortable for you. Inhale, come on back up. One last time. Exhale, fold forward. If you'd like, you can stay for a breath or two. Make sure your knees are soft. Make sure you keep that form. So inhale is bringing your shoulder blades together just a little bit. And then exhale, if you pull your belly in, you might be able to get a little bit farther forward. And inhale yourself slowly back up to standing. Hopefully you guys are okay. Are the two of you I can see okay? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Everybody okay? Okay, thank you, Genevieve. Thank you, Julie. All righty. Back down, please, to your hands and knees. Let's do that posture again that we did before called Chakravakasana. Keeping your back flat. So inhale, bring your shoulder blades together. Notice how this set of Chakravakasana is a little different than the one you did before because now you're a little bit more warmed up. So inhale and expand, stretch to the front. Exhale, bend your elbows straight back as your head comes to the floor and you move towards child's pose. Try and keep your back pretty flat. Keep going. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhale, move back towards child's pose. Elbows go straight back as your head comes to the floor, and then you move back. 4 more times. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Two or three more times until you've done it about 6 times. And you can pause for a second in child's pose. When you're in child's pose, as opposed to just hanging out, a good way for you to stretch your low back in that is to keep using your exhale, just like as if you were moving, right? So you kind of mini micro move your shoulder blades together on your inhale, and then exhale, just gently nudge your hips a little bit farther toward your heels. That way you can get just the tiniest, little mini stretches in. All right, let's move to your back, please, for another round of bridge. And we're going to use a technique here. Repetition and stay, kind of like we did in the standing postures, to give that a little bit more of a Brahmana effect. So your feet are hip distance apart. You guys know bridge, I hope, I'm sure. And I'll tell you, here's what we're going to do. So exhale, pull your belly in. Inhale, hips lift toward the ceiling. Pause for a minute at the top. Equal exhale, rolling down. Do that again, inhaling up. Pause at the top. Exhale, lower down. Come up one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to come up and stay for 3 breaths. So increase your inhale and exhale. As you inhale, lift. Exhale here and stay. Watch your knees and make sure they're not popping out. Inhale, stay. Pause at the top of your inhale. Exhale, stay. Pull your belly in, kind of helps support you in this. Inhale, you might be able to lift a tiny bit higher. Pause at the top. And then exhale, slowly lower down. If you need to, grab a knee with each hand. So right hand on your right knee, left hand on your left knee. And exhale, pull your knees toward your chest gently. Inhale, straighten your elbows and let them move away. And keep going. Exhale, pull your knees toward your chest with your hands. Inhale. You keep your hands on your knees and you kind of move your knees back and forth. So your knees on an exhale will come into your chest. On an inhale, move away like that. Just to stretch out your low back. This is a great posture to do if you've been sitting for a long time, which pretty much now everybody is sitting for a long time. All right, now drop one foot and then the other to the floor. We're going to take a short shavasana. So I'll let you relax for about 5 minutes or so. Then I'll call you back. Then we'll do a short pranayama in the spirit of what we've been doing here, a Brahmana pranayama. And then if you're interested, we'll do a little tiny short meditation at the very end. So eyes closed, legs straight, knees straight or bent. You choose how you're most comfortable. Just relax. Let yourself sink into the mat, and I will call you back in just a few minutes. So stretch any way you need to. And when you're ready, bend your knees and roll to the side to push yourself up. And for this pranayama, you're welcome. You can stay on the floor if you want, but you're also welcome to sit on your couch or a chair, or pick a spot wherever you are most comfortable for about the next, let's say, 10-ish minutes. Okay? So what I'm going to do is count you through a pranayama, a breathing exercise, similar to what you used in the postures, in the asana. I'm going to count, I'm going to start with a 4 count, like a clock, like 1, 2, 3, 4. If that's too much for you, start at 3. Remember what I said at the beginning of the class, always when you're working with these practices with pranayama, be gentle, go slowly, and do what you need to do for yourself. When you get to that point where you're like, oh, this is too much, then stay at that level where you're comfortable. The more you practice these things, the higher your breath threshold will get. But if you've not done this before, then it's not going to happen instantly. So just remember that and go easy on yourself. All right? Okay, so let's begin. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Exhale, pull your belly in. That's going to support you here seated. And we'll begin. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, retain. 1. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, retain, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, retain, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now inhale 5, so 2, 3, 4, 5, retain for 2 or 3, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, retain, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, retain. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now inhale 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only if it's comfortable. Retain. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Retain. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Retain. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. I'm going to let you do 3 more rounds on your own. You can go up to 7, retain for more like 4, and then exhale 7 or 8. But you do what's comfortable for you. So I'll give you a minute. when you've finished, go back to that comfortable, equal inhale and exhale, like maybe at 4 or 5. Do that for about 4 rounds of breath. Just let your nervous system decompress for a little bit. Feel that surge, that kind of energetic surge, that Brahmana quality within you. And now we're going to spend about a couple of minutes here meditating. So if you have a strong meditation practice, that's great. I'm going to start you with some very basic techniques, assuming that you have not meditated before. So, a couple of ideas here. Picture in your mind a candle, just a lighted candle, any color you like, any quality you like. That's one idea. You can picture someone you love, the face of someone you love, family or friend or pet even. Or you could picture a flower or something in nature, a tree, a plant. But pick one thing, one of those 3 ideas, and see that in your mind. And when your mind starts to lose its focus, just very gently draw it back to that focal point that you're using. And what I'm going to do is time you, so you know what 1 minute of meditation feels like. Right? So remain focused on that candle or that face or that flower, and begin. All right, so whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, come back to the world as we know it. So when people are starting a meditation practice, that's what I recommend. Set a timer and start low. Start with a minute, build up to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. In my tradition, which is called Vinyasa, it's a very ancient lineage of yoga therapy. The way we are trained is asana, the postures that we did, leads you to pranayama. We did a little bit of pranayama at the end and also within the asana, we always do, which leads you to meditation, which leads you to prayer, whatever form that might take for you. And so it's stair-stepping to get there and preparing you. I personally think just sitting down in meditation is tough. So I hope you enjoyed that practice, that Brahmana practice. We're going to do a little bit more of that every Monday at noon right here. please sign in. If you didn't, please sign in the chat. And I hope I'll see you again either Wednesday or Mondays at noon.